Okay, I have absolutely no idea if the microphone's going to work, but I am recording video at least. Okay, this is a quick tour of my planetary base. A lot of what you're going to see in this base I have at all of my bases, namely all the stuff to grow plants in and the links to all of the industrial mining along the various points of the planet. I'll go into detail about those in another video. This particular video is just a quick tour. You might notice that there's a few things already that you're not used to seeing in base builds. That's because I'm using a mod that allows us to use any of the in-game assets to build at our base. That one's Euclid EA, or something along those lines. And yeah, it allows us to build some really interesting bases, but the plant stuff and the industrial mining stuff you can do without that mod quite easy. Yeah, let's just have a look around, shall we? Okay, so those big windmill thingies up there, they're part of the mod, but everything else I'm about to show you inside is easy to build without a mod. Okay, so we've got our teleporter here. Our various storage containers. If we go around the outsides first, you'll see that I have biodomes set up with different plants, and if we go all the way around you'll find that there's exactly the right amount of plants to make 4 stasis devices and 4 fusion igniters. Each of those items sell for 16 to 18 million units each, so it's quite lucrative. This one's just extra plants like the good old nip that everyone's after. We've got some venom urchins, gravitino balls and albumin pearls. Just in case you didn't know, by the way, there's a little computer on the top of the biodomes that allows you to harvest all of it at once. Like that. That's amazing, isn't it? Okay. Right, and then we're back to the front again. So in the rooms on the inside I've got 2 rooms that I've got a large refiner in. This room's got a trade terminal on it. You'll notice that all of my rooms have got some batteries, and the upper rooms you'll see have some solar panels. That's just sort of by default with my buildings, because I like to have power before I've found the electromagnetic hotspot on the planet. Just means that I can get my base going before I do all my searching for all the industrial mining stuff. But yeah, medium refiner in the background there. So yeah, there's 2 rooms of medium refiners, 2 rooms with large refiners. I just said that wrong? Yeah, it's 4 of each, sorry. 4 large refiners, 4 mediums. So the mediums are in the corner rooms, and the large ones are in the middle rooms. So if we go to the very centre one, find there's actually a few floors, and I've got my base NPCs in this particular one, and I can come out to various different landing pads. I'll show you what that's about in the background in just a minute. Okay, so all of that, oh no, yeah, I've walked a bit. All of that you can build quite easily without any kind of mod. I've got on the outside here some standing planters, and on the bit up the front of my base I've got some portable refiners and some nutrient processors. These are just extra power. And now let me show you what this is all about then. Right, so all of my bases, I do this. So you can see in the background there is where my oxygen is being harvested from that hotspot, and it leads right back here. Alright, and I can just take that out at will. And then down here we've got ammonia. So that'll be the randomly. Oh no, that'd be the one that depending on the planet type. So this one's ammonia because we're on a toxic planet. Okay, and that leads to way over there. But again, it's all still in range. That's my power tower. You can see right in the background there, and that connects back here as well. If we go over here. Got nitrogen, so again that's because of the planet type. So there's this and one other planet type, I forget which, that does nitrogen, or you could get radon or sulfurine, again depending on planet type. Cobalt, that's the randomly generated one on this planet. And indium because we are in a blue star system. Okay, so all of my silos that are right here, very easily accessible from my main base, are piped up and electrically connected to the various different sites that you can see most of in the background. That's one of them there. That's one of them there. That's my power tower. That one's just out of view behind that hill. That's somebody else's base right over there, stone walls. That's where I was messing about with terrain manipulation. Alright, let's show you the rest. So, we have a chessboard. I can't claim that this was mine. I've used a program called Blender, which you should definitely look up. It makes base building a lot easier, but you have to use it on a PC. It's obviously not within the game. But yeah, I've used a plug-in for that that somebody else had created, so I can't take credit for that. But it's the same guy that actually created the plug-in for Blender. So I wish I'd jotted his name down so I could give him proper credit, but I can see something's gone a bit wrong with the terrain here. Usually the terrain is out underneath these structures. I'm not really sure why it's done that today. These haven't actually fully loaded in either. They've usually got a lot of detail to them that doesn't seem to be rendering in. Oh well. Right, okay, over here I've used the Euclid mod, whatever it's called, to recreate the Anomaly, which was tremendously difficult. And there's one bit I still haven't managed to figure out. I haven't found a part for it, which is to get the stairs up to there. But the mod has allowed me to recreate the rest of the Anomaly. I'm still fine-tuning their exact positioning, so you might find as I walk around this that some bits aren't quite in the right place. But we've got fully functioning Nexus here, fully functioning Quicksilver Merchant. You'll find I've already bought everything. Up here I have added these things because I've suggested that some of my guides, or perhaps some Hello Games made guides, be added to them, so new players, can look up if they want to know some more details about how the game works. Because let's face it, the game doesn't tell you much. But a lot of players don't really want to know that much. They want to figure it out for themselves, and that's cool. But I feel like the option should be there, and when you unlock the Anomaly, I think that's a really good point in the game to allow people to start looking stuff up. I really should put a roof on all this so I don't get all of this happening. You can still interact with all the NPCs on there. They do what they usually do. They've currently not got much to say to me. Berries. We got Kronos, pain in the butt food guy. I'm not going to give him anything. Yeah, you don't deserve the food, mate. Still got the appearance modifier. Absolutely everything is the same. It's just not necessarily perfectly lined up. So for example, you can see right there I've left a slight gap by mistake. I'm having to play around with it in Blender just a little bit to get it exactly right. See, now normally Nada and Polo would be up here. I haven't placed them up here yet, but I will do that. This is where my missing staircase is that I can't seem to find anywhere. Again, slight gap, it's still not entirely right. Yeah, this is where it gets a little annoying and glitchy, because this particular area is actually made out of two different pieces that overlap. I'm finding it very difficult to get rid of these walls. But, I mean, they're harmless, it's just a bit annoying. You can still walk through them. Got fully functioning teleporter. And again, the wall in the way here isn't really a wall. You can still go back into that room. Still got our little, whoever they are in disguise, Tethys in disguise as a Gek. And back down to there. If we go back through here, just like the normal Anomaly, we've got all of these crazies at the back. And we've still got our construction research terminal that we can buy stuff in. Again, I've already bought everything. Lots of people ask me where can I get Nip Nip. Well, aside from doing the base farmer missions, some people seem to get rewarded it and some people don't for some reason, but you can always buy it from here. That's the blueprint at least, and then you'll see it needs Nip Nip buds and Fecium to actually plant. You find your Nip Nip buds from Nexus missions every now and again, sometimes from your frigate missions. There's a variety of ways. You'll find one eventually. Don't be too fussed about it. Someone might even gift you it. That's quite a common gift. Any other time you're on the Anomaly, by the way, there's always a spare weapon there, and there's always, just like the space station has, a spare backpack there. It's not letting me do anything with it because I've already got the maximum amount of slots available. Okay, so if we go back to the main base, I've moved it, the Anomaly over there a little bit. Might move it further away. The reason being is that I've discovered that it places a ceiling, so now that I've moved it over there I can call my ship in, but when it was still over here where all that editing was, it didn't allow me to call the ships in because there was a ceiling that was just below where the top of that silo is. So it meant I couldn't land and I couldn't call ships in. It was a real pain. So that's why I've moved it over. Don't know why I'm taking off particularly. Oh wow, this is a slow landing. Okay, so back to my main part of the base. We have a tiny but fully functioning portal here. Again, part of the Euclideae mod. You can't usually place this, but it's usually on some planets. You've got your talky stony things. I've already interacted with all these things, so I can't get my units out of that, or my word out of that. Oh, these do seem to regenerate though, so I can increase my standing. Construction research terminals over here as well for some reason. Got the various different containers. Okay, another thing just for anybody that visits me to get themselves a free slot for the backpack. This thing is interesting. It's not going to show you because I've already bought them, but again this is added with the Euclideae mod thing, and there were 4 different things you could buy in here. I forget what they were now. Yeah, we've got all of our main characters here, the cast of the story as it were. My Exocroft keep moving for some reason. That's my Colossus and my Nomad, which refuse to stay on their platforms no matter what I do. Making the platforms bigger, by the way, I mean you can make stuff bigger when you're placing them. If you... what is it? I've forgotten what it is now. Scale and rotate, you see on the left at the bottom there. So if I hold them down, I can rotate them to weird angles. I can make them smaller. Yeah, and that's not part of the mod, by the way. You can all do that with most of the things that you can build. Anyway, my point being is that I've tried doing that with the pads here, and all that actually does is make your craft bigger or smaller as well, which is a bit of a pain, but kind of cool as well. Monitor. Craft guy is outside, of course, because that makes sense. We've got the automatic harvester, so if there were animals nearby, then this thing here would be feeding them based on what I put in here, and it would be collecting all of it based on all of this, so it'll fill all of that up. Those of you who are having problems with the livestock unit, by the way, who think that if you walk away from it it stops working, that's not entirely true. You can leave the planet and come back later and it will be filled. It's just that for some reason when you reach a certain distance from it, it stops working for a little while, which has led people to believe that they have to stand here watching it work for it to work. It's not actually true. Right, yeah, my nomad, not my nomad, sorry, my pilgrim and my roamer, which again also does not want to stay on the path. My biodomes, I've got to say, are coloured based on the plant, and little bits down in my previous item cache. So when I've destroyed other bases via the base computer, what happens is it puts it all into this cache, and it's automatically 48 slots. So you can always get your stuff back if you choose not to destroy your base bit by bit by bit by bit. If you just destroy it from the base computer, it stores it in there. Just bear in mind that if you've got one of these on your freighter, it's a bit dodgy. It doesn't like to be interacted with. It thinks that you've got a full inventory even though you don't. So your stuff, if you switch freighters, your stuff from base building in there will get refunded into this just like any other base, but you won't be able to access it from your new freighter, which is very annoying. You have to come to a base, take your stuff out, then go back up to your new freighter and build with that stuff. A bit of a pain, but hey, hopefully they'll fix that in the next update. And then here I've got my antimatter reactor, which literally just creates antimatter if you put carbon or condensed carbon in there, which, you know, is quite handy. Right, back outside, let's show you the underwatery bits. I haven't got a massive underwater base or anything. Oh yeah, turrets, part of the mod. They don't really do anything, but they look quite nice. There's also a thing that creates a giant shield over your entire base, which is quite cool. What's this thing? I forget what this thing is. Oh yeah, just a little handy thing to switch between your current starship and your freighter. Okay, so we are inside my underwater base now, so if I go down here, straight into the water and straight down, I can go straight out into the water through that door. Here we have a viewing sphere. It's not a particularly nice planet in regards to the water, but oh well. Here we have our moon pool. What I should have done is put my Nautilon summoning chamber onto the roof here, which you can do with the glitch buildy thing, where you use the wire and then down into it. Look it up on YouTube. Other people have done a better job of it than I can. But it's really quite easy to glitch build stuff into different positions, that is, than they should be. So yeah, you should look that up, wire glitch. Another bubble, and another way out, and another bubble. You can go out from the bottom. But yeah, if I'd done the thing that I will do it in the future, I will put my my Nautilon chamber at the top there. So what it does is it spawns the Nautilon exactly in that water, so you can get straight into it without affecting your oxygen supply. Yeah, so you'll see if we follow one of them. Let's follow one of these paths. What's the one we didn't see? We didn't see this one, so let's follow it. Start to see it in the background there now. So we've got one set here. I think this was my cobalt one, wasn't it? Oh no, this is a gas. This is my nitrogen one. So you've got your gas extractors, some of the silos. I've always extended my base boundaries, which I've talked about in other videos and I'll talk about it more later. I've extended my base boundaries using batteries, but actually if you're going to find yourself a power hotspot like the one in the background there, then why use batteries? They're completely pointless. So what I'm going to do in future is I'm going to use silos instead. So I'll place one of these instead of placing a battery, and actually not only are they more visible so you can tell where they're going, but yeah, they're actually increasing your amount that you can hold of a particular substance that way. So if I replace the batteries leading to here with silos instead, that's 17,000, it'd go up to like 20,000 maybe. I'm not really sure how many batteries I used to get here. Okay. Right, where was that other one? Lost myself. There's my power one, so it's somewhere over here. Right, so this is the furthest away one. How far away is this from my base? Let's have a look. Oh, you'll see it's actually only just over the 1000U unit. That's my starship, not my base. Where's my base? Ugh. It's not going to highlight it, is it? That's really annoying. Anyway, you can extend your base boundaries up to 1000 units away from your base, but at that point you have to stop walking and you have to do the rest with the build camera, like so. And that gets you a little bit extra. If you look, you'll see that it says a certain amount of time to get back to wherever. That time changes to you when you're within 1000U of the thing that you're looking at. So my exocraft is a little bit over 1000U away, which is why it's changed to the 2 minute 42 to get there. If I were to come just a little bit closer, there you go. You see, oh, I'm actually a little further away than I thought. Right, so I'm actually 1250-ish U away at that set there, which means that is right on the buildable boundary. If that hotspot had been any further away, I would not have been able to do this. In fact, if I remember rightly, I think I had to use Blender to finish this one off. I think I had managed the closest silo here, but couldn't build the rest, so I had to use Blender. But yeah, there's another video I'm sure you'll see on my YouTube that explains about how many hotspots there are around any given point. Doesn't matter where you put your base computer, you will always find at least 16 hotspots within that 1000U range. Sometimes within 1050U, so sometimes those hotspots are just ever so slightly out of the 1000U range, but like I've shown, you can get to them quite easily. Those 16 or more hotspots will always, without fail, include a power hotspot, the planet's particular gas, the oxygen. There's always oxygen on every planet apart from dead worlds, and the three different things, the three different minerals that you can see listed on the right there right now. Those are always the same as the ones that you can find on the planet and mine with your multi-tool. The hotspots are always exactly the same ones. The stuff on my group that show you how that's generated, but basically that's indium because we're in a blue system, it's ammonia because we're on a toxic world, and it's cobalt because that's just one of the 8 or so random things that it picks from. It just randomly picked cobalt. Yeah, I think I'm droning on a bit now, and this is a 25-minute video already, so I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm just gonna take this back to base. Yes, I currently have a mod on that's allowing my jetpack to work forever, which is quite handy when I'm trying to do stuff like this. Anyone thinking, oh, he's cheating, he's modding or whatever, bear in mind that I have 5,000 hours on my PlayStation and an additional 5,000 hours on my PC. I've played this game fairly to death, so I don't think I'm unjustified in using some mods to spice it up a little bit. And Like I say, most of the mods that I'm using mostly so that I can do videos like this and test the hell out of the game, so that I can make content for my Facebook channel, my Facebook group I should say, that you see up here, that has every conceivable question you could possibly think of about this game answered there. So please feel free to go and join up there if you are on Facebook. If you're not, hopefully I'll have more content coming for this YouTube channel soon, and a lot of your questions will be answered. Anyway, let's wrap it up. I hope you all have a good day, and I will talk to you later. Bye!